Hello and welcome to a brand new episode of the Nerdpocalypse Podcast. I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with my co-host, Micah.
Hey.
All right, guys, we're back. Terrence is out this week, but there is plenty to talk about. I will just proclaim it right now. This is a very DC-centric episode. So we just had an episode a couple weeks ago where we shit on DC and all of their terrible situations. So let's see if they can turn it around with DC Fandome, which is a really weird name. Micah, you watched the Fandome. You entered the Fandome. One man enter, one man leave. What'd you think?
Yeah, I watched it, and I watched a good amount of it, and
I totally forgot this was happening.
It's I like the format. I really do. It's excellent, the format, and I think they pulled off the Fandome experience. They pulled off the experience of sitting in Hall H for hours, right?
Without doing that.
Right, without doing it. And because it's so focused on one, brand,
right?
If you're a fan of that brand, you're just going to sit there for hours, right? Like when we sat in Hall H that one time, we sat there all day and we sat through bullshit that we didn't like because if we left, we might not have been able to get back.
Right. By the way, we're referring to Hall H at San Diego Comic-Con. For folks
right.
Yeah.
And we weren't press at we weren't like press at the time, right? So we had to sit out there with the unwashed masses.
Yes.
And have to sit there and if you ever hear us talk about Mr. Paul W. S. Anderson,
yes.
Like that was a guy who referred to Paul W. S. Anderson that way, in that cadence, because he was such a really big fan.
Sycophant, I believe is the word.
Right. Right. But it pulled off what it wanted to pull off. They had a lot of panels, right? They had a lot of reveals.
Yeah, they did. Like quite a few. Like, cause I was just catching it as people were posting. I was like, oh, okay. All right. Like, not bad. I thought it was pretty good.
And for the most part, like they had people from all over the world. You had your celebrities. I think Aisha Tyler hosted it, but she didn't really host it. Like they had a bunch of other people from around the world introducing the different segments. And for what it was, I thought they pulled it off.
Is this what would you prefer the sort of like the Marvel panels at Comic-Con and the DC panels? Would you prefer that they just kind of did their own thing like this?
Yes.
And then just did them online. Like they eventually released the trailers, later in the day, like DC did, or not even later. I mean, it was some of it was kind of simultaneously, but just like if you got to watch it live, then you got to see it,
Right. Yeah, I would prefer it. It would take honestly, I would think that it would help the ridiculous lines that people have to sit through in Comic-Con.
Yeah.
And you like you could sit in those lines because there's a certain energy, right?
Oh yeah, 100%
there.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I probably don't need to feel that energy until my son is of age where that would really like get him jazzed. You know what I mean?
And even then, dude, you're going to be 50 years old by the time that comes around.
Yeah, no.
No, I'm not standing in line with a bunch of sweaty teenagers at 50 years old. No. But, this is definitely going to get leaked online. Let's watch it from home.
But if you just want the content,
that's all I want.
This is a home run. And some of the panels were really interesting. They started off swinging, right? Swinging for the fences, right? They had Wonder Woman, right?
That's Jesus. Like that's surprising to go that big that early. That's awesome.
Yeah, they had Wonder Woman and the whole cast was there. And Linda Carter showed up.
Oh yeah, that's awesome.
It was cool, man. They had a couple of video game announcements. They had a multiverse panel, right? Where it's like Multiverse 101. And this was their way of like, yeah, we all the stuff that we're doing.
It's on purpose.
The TV side and the movie side, it's all on purpose. It's a multiverse.
Look, here's the thing. That's the easiest answer. It's the easiest answer. Just go with it. Like, we planned it the whole time instead of a hodgepodge of like complete bullshit that you did. It's fine. It's fine. If that's your answer, I'm okay with it. We can just move forward. That's okay.
Right.
I'm not gonna hold you to it.
The Suicide Squad panel I watched, that Suicide Squad panel was interesting, but it was a mess because
it's too many people.
They had the entire cast, right? And then they were playing a game where they took one half of the cast against the other half of the cast, and James Gunn was the host of the game, and I'm like, yo, you can't do a game on a Zoom call, yo.
Yeah, it's pretty hard.
It's not gonna work,
right?
But Suicide Squad looks, really interesting, man, and they had some stupid stuff. Chris Daughtry, I don't give a shit. Milestone Comics is coming back in February.
Right. Very cool.
Which is cool. They had a voice actors panel of all the different people around the world who voice Batman in live action and in animation, which is really interesting. Hearing they had what's Job's name from Arrested Development? Will Arnett.
Yeah, Will Arnett. Yeah.
Yeah, he does the voice for Lego Batman.
Yeah, Lego Batman.
And he gets real gravelly when it's a Lego Batman, right? Mm-hmm. And to hear like some of these other people speaking these other languages trying to have like really deep voices, but like you can't really it's not as I'm Batman isn't as intimidating when it's being said like this. You speak Batman. Like it doesn't.
You sweet Batman. Oh, that's fucking hilarious.
They had a Snyder Cut panel, and it was the biggest. Like this Snyder Cut thing is just the biggest fucking wank that I've ever seen.
Just gonna dip out from the video and throw up.
One guy was.
We'll talk. By the way, we're going to talk about all the major trailers later on.
One guy who, they found the guy one of the people who kind of spurred on the release the Snyder Cut, movement.
Was he an actual Russian bot? Because that's really cool that they found.
He was a black dude, right? He was a black dude who went to see this movie, and he went to see this movie, and he said, "Something doesn't feel right. This doesn't seem right." Even though, every DC fan loved that movie, right? Something doesn't seem right.
It doesn't seem right. Well, there was news of why, all right. All right. Let's all pretend we didn't know anything until we sat down and watched it.
Right. So it was, this Snyder Cut stuff is just giving this guy a hand job. And then I saw the Black Adam panel. Look, man, you know what? I'll save all that for when we talk about the trailer at the end. But from a concept point of view, it's great.
Okay.
From a content point of view, there's some ups and downs.
Okay. All right, that's fair. Not that this is a video game show, but I thought the games looked good. Or at least, the Suicide Squad killed the Justice League or whatever. I mean, it was just an animated movie, basically, preview. I thought it was funny. It worked for me. But I thought the Batman, was it Gotham Knights? I thought that looked kind of fun. It looks better than that Avengers game.
Yeah.
A lot better.
And they had, there was one, I have to, because, I'm black. I have to shout out this one panel they had. It was called Blurred and Bougie, which, I don't like portmanteaus, but it was a celebration of the black women in these projects.
Oh, that's dope. Okay, that's cool.
And it's something that you just I'm shocked that it was on there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, of course.
Because you don't hear from black women about the things that we all like, right? Like, yeah, they like them too, guys. Like,
they're involved
they
in these
exist.
things.
Right. And they're involved in them. And they had the woman who plays Iris West, I think, Candace Patton. They had the woman who's playing the new Batwoman. They had, they had like 3 or 4 black women on there. It was co-hosted by D Nice, and it was good, man. I enjoyed that. So,
oh, that's good. Look, I will say this, any steps towards diversity or acknowledging that there are diverse voices and folks in these comic book universes, whether it's Marvel, DC, or whatever, is a good thing because they're largely very, very white. Or behind the scenes, we just assume that they are, and that doesn't necessarily mean that's true. So that's good. I got no problem with that. Sounds like that's a good move.
So I'm curious to see if they will actually. I'm curious to see how this does, how they think this is received, and if they will do it again. I doubt it. Like if we're out of the darkest timeline next year, I doubt that. Yeah, I doubt that we will be out of it. But I doubt that they will come back to this. But I kind of hope they do.
Well, I mean, it's like Marvel doing the D23 thing. Like at a certain point, I feel like maybe you do your D23 and your DC Fandome, but you give a little bit to, I don't know how you figure it out, but you give a little bit to San Diego Comic-Con because people love that kind of stuff, but you save your big guns for your own thing. And just let the, let Sony and these other companies, let them, build up their stuff. Like, let them have it big. Like, okay, not that I think it's going to be good. I think it's going to be a mess. But give Sony space to like push their Spider-Man universe, right? And let them, really, really pump that up. Marvel doesn't need to be at San Diego Comic-Con big like that. DC doesn't need to be at this point if they have this DC Fandome thing. Like, let somebody else have a chance to really promote their stuff, like Universal and stuff like that with Fast and Furious. Like, just let them be the big guns for a while and just step back.
I equate it to what is going on with the big video game companies now. The Electronic Entertainment Expo, E3, is the San Diego Comic-Con of video games, right? Right. And forever, up until a couple of years ago, they would have these big presentations, Microsoft, Sony, Nintendo. They would have EA. They would have all these big presentations. And people kind of got sick of E3 for a bit. And Nintendo started doing that. Nintendo always does their own thing. And they started doing their own thing. It was called directs, where they speak directly to you. And they control the narrative, and they control the time. They control how it looks. And now Microsoft and Sony are kind of getting into that, right? Like, they realize, you know what? Maybe we don't need all the BS of the big press conference at E3.
Absolutely.
We can pre-produce something, do it the way we want it, and just hit the play button when it's time. So, look, I think this idea is a very good idea. And I hope more companies follow suit to disseminate information to people.
All right, there you go. I like it. I would like to first say, fuck you, Charlie, and fuck you, Micah, specifically. I watched Superman Man of Tomorrow. It is an animated feature starring cartoons. That's right. Digital men and women talking, fighting, if you will. This is the new Superman movie. I thought it was fine. I didn't hate it. I like the animation style. I dug that. It's like that heavy, sort of heavily outlined sort of art style.
It's like Archer.
Yeah, exactly. That's exactly right. So I like that. The basic story is like, this is Clark very young. Like, he works at the Daily Planet, but he's still pretty young. He doesn't even have the suit yet in the beginning.
Yeah. This is like Superman
year
3
one.
months.
Yeah, 3 months basically, right? It's not even year one. He's a preteen basically. But he's working at the Daily Planet. Like, to give you an idea of timeline, like Lois gets hired at the Daily Planet after him, and she's literally a grad school graduate. And they're like, whoa, this like she broke this story on Lex Luthor. Like, oh shit, like we're gonna hire her, right?
Superman's 24 in this.
Yeah, he's mad young. So the story is basically he's just referred to as the Flying Man. And obviously nobody knows him as really Superman or anything like that. And then Lobo shows up and he just like starts fighting him, basically trying to capture him. He recognizes he's a Kryptonian, and he starts trying to capture him. They fight. At one point, Lobo like throws this bomb or something, and it explodes into this like goo or whatever, and it gets on this one janitor, and that causes him to kind of be like a parasite kind of character, right? And then Martian Manhunter shows up, and they fight this alien eventually and beat him. I thought the voice acting was a little weird. Like, there were weird pauses. Like, is everyone paying attention to the script? Like, there was like you could tell they voice recorded completely separate.
That's what happens with most voiceover.
Right. But they kind of put it together so it feels more like natural dialogue. There were moments, and when you watch it, you'll notice, like,
oh, I've seen it.
Yeah. Did you find it there were like a couple of awkward pauses?
Not to the point where they are distracting, no.
Yeah, there was a couple times I was like, wait, did I lose the volume? Like, I didn't know if like just no one was talking. It was weird. But I liked Martian Manhunter. That design they showed of like his natural form and then like his like more familiar form that we know him as. I thought was kind of cool. But yeah, it was okay. The one thing I will say about the sound, like the sound effects they used during the fights made it feel like the punches were like really landing. Like, I thought that was pretty good. But overall, I thought it was fine. It's not the best Superman story I've seen. It felt empty in parts.
It felt like Superman. You could tell this was like Superman 3 months because like he didn't really do anything.
Right.
Like, if you think about the ending, like,
right. Like,
what did this guy do?
Like, nothing. And like, there's still like weird mentions of Batman for no reason.
Yeah, Batman exists in this universe. So
right.
It's so the rumor is that this is going to be the start of another cinematic universe.
That's fine.
Like they did previously with the thick neck style of animation.
I did not like that style at all. I hate it. Like, why is Aquaman so fucking big? He would just sink.
Aquaman looks like Brock Lesnar.
Right. He looked like a fucking lunatic. Like, what are we doing? Yeah, I thought it was okay. I didn't hate it, but I thought it was okay.
Guess what? That's what most of these are.
See?
They're just okay.
That's because you don't have any respect for the genre. Like, that's your problem. No, I mean, again, I would watch more in that universe, sure. But I was just kind of done with the overdone Batman stuff. By the way, I definitely started to feel sleepy during watching this because there was some parts that had a little bit of a lull in it, and I was like, Superman doesn't punch something soon. I'm getting out of here.
But this fucking story getting in the way.
No, that story you saw. That story wasn't that great. It really wasn't.
It was fine. It was okay. I didn't hate it. It was solid. It was a solid C+ effort.
Yeah.
I actually like what they did with Parasite.
No, I didn't mind that part of the story at all.
Yeah, because Parasite is he's a villain that everyone complains about Superman, being overpowered. Well, here's a guy that can sap Superman's energy to kind of make it a fair fight. So, I
mean, but then he becomes kind of overpowered because of that. So by the end, he was pretty overpowered.
Yeah, he was. Yeah,
he was a giant kaiju basically by the end. It's ridiculous. But yeah, I thought it was okay. I thought it was fine. You watch Boy State, which that title seems weird.
Well, Boy State is a real thing, and I really want you to watch it. Boy State, the actual thing that this it's a documentary, and the actual thing that this documentary is about, Boys State, is a summer leadership and citizenship program for high school juniors, which focuses on exploring the mechanics of American government and politics. So the film takes place in Texas, and there are 1,100 boys attending Boys State. So Boys State is headed up by the American Foreign Legion. So the American Foreign Legion has to pick. They interview and they pick 1,100 boys to go to this thing. It's not co-ed, by the way. They have a girls' state, but this is about boys' state.
Gross.
And and this takes place in Texas, and it's the 1,100 boys coming together to build a representative government from the ground up, from all different political backgrounds, and they're organizing political parties from scratch.
That's super fascinating, by the way. I thought the trailer looked dope.
It's a very, very good film, and I think you in particular would really enjoy it.
Yeah.
And you would get really frustrated because it's while it is,
I cannot imagine.
while it is it's like government, but 17-year-olds.
What's the difference?
Exactly.
At this point, what's the difference?
Exactly, right?
I'm going to just I'm going to give you a nickname. I mean, it's what 17-year-olds do.
They are, like I said, they're building this government from the ground up. You have to, if you want to go, governor is the highest position that you can try to achieve. And for the different roles in government, you have to go get signatures to be put on a ballot, and then you have to campaign to be your party's representative for the role that you are going out for. And then the two parties go head to head to pick who is going to be the governor of Boys State. And
who votes for them?
Governor is the
who votes for them?
The constituents, the 1,100 boys, right? So there are.
Okay. So not all 1,100 are in the party. Are party members, basically.
They are grouped into Federalists and Nationalists. Right? Don't read too much into that. They just didn't want to say Democrat and Republican.
No, I know. I'm reading very old school into it, not as in white nationalists.
Right.
No. I find that funny.
Right. But they are grouped, and you are a part of, you are either a federalist or a nationalist, but not everyone can vie for a position. If you don't get a position, you're just in the pools, right? You're in the mosh pit, right? You're members of your nation.
Right. Got it.
And so governor is the role, right? And you should see some of these kids, man. Some of these kids they're like, yeah, well, I'm pro-gun, pro-Second Amendment, and I believe that there are for every adopted baby, there's 30 couples looking to adopt it, so therefore abortion shouldn't be legal because they.
You sure? You sure?
Hearing these 17-year-old know-nothings talk about things is fascinating.
I should send this to my brother-in-law, right? Because I feel like his son would appreciate it. His son does debate. I feel like he would appreciate
because he's very bright.
And kid is incredibly smart, dude. It's insane. It's insane.
And not a lot of these kids, they're bright, but they're not cut out for this.
Politics is not, contrary to popular belief, politics is not about intelligence.
No,
it's not about, let me rephrase that. Politics is not about IQ. Politics is about EQ, emotional intelligence. If you're not aware of what EQ is. And that tends to work more in politics. People who can, like, you can have a high EQ and have like just an okay IQ and do very well in life. If you have high both, you'll probably do incredibly well. And then there are people who have high IQs and horrible emotional intelligence, and they might be able to sort of manipulate their way into being like president or something, but they have the emotional, maturity of a 4-year-old. But it's fascinating because like really good politicians generally have very, very good EQ. Like a prime example would be like a Barack Obama or a Bill Clinton, right? They're two very different guys, but they have the emotional intelligence. Like Bill Clinton, like for whatever people think of him, that dude, like he can sit down and talk to people like a real regular Joe. Like that is his superpower, right? That's that emotional intelligence that you're like, damn, this nigga's making me feel great. Like, cause you feel like he's talking to you directly, even through the television. For all the, Barack Obama is so professorial. Look at any time people actually talk to him. They don't ever feel that way. They're like, he's so personable and like, you're like the only person in the room when he's talking to you. That's emotional intelligence. And then there are people who are just like robots.
You really see that in this documentary also. Like eventually it comes to a head, and like some people are very good at their jobs. Some people are okay at their jobs. Some people are better at their jobs. So, but the okay people surround themselves with people who are excellent at their jobs.
That's a proper leader. Yep.
And I'm telling you, yo.
Yeah, I would watch the shit. I will probably be able to watch this in about 11 minutes. But that's just me talking. I don't know. I'm just spitballing.
I'd love to get your opinion on it.
Okay.
And,
yeah, I'll check it out.
Yeah, it's really good.
Okay.
It's really good.
All right.
I highly recommend it. It's on Apple TV Plus. Look, if you have an Apple device.
Sure. That's exactly the only place you can get it. You're right.
If you have an Apple device, like they give you Apple TV Plus for a year. All you have to do is literally open the app. So do yourself a favor. And look, if your year starts right now, you actually have things to watch. So
yeah, see, I might sign up for that. I'll sign up for it in 10 minutes and 30 seconds. That's when I'll sign up for Apple TV on the show. All right, so let's get to it. But I'm going to definitely watch that before next week because we should do a formal review of that. I would be interested to do that. Lightning round this week. Go for it.
Powerpuff Girls live action TV series is in the works at the CW. The Powerpuff Girls could be headed to live action. Variety is reporting that the CW is developing a live action iteration of the popular Cartoon Network cartoon. In the proposed series, one-time child heroes, now disillusioned 20-something.
No. Do they have paddle hands? That's all I want to know. Does it say that?
Now disillusioned 20-somethings who regret spending their youth fighting criminals. The question lingers of whether they can swallow their resentment long enough to come back together to save the world when it needs them most. The project is being helmed by Heather Regnier and Diablo Cody.
Oh, okay. Diablo Cody. That's a pretty good name to have attached to this.
Is another good name to have attached to it? Greg Berlanti. Greg Berlanti, Sarah.
I guess it just tells me exactly what it's going to be.
Right, but that guy knows a form. He's got a formula.
Hey, and it works.
And it works.
I'm not hating on that.
He's going to be the executive producer along with his other producers. I used to watch the cartoon, the Powerpuff Girls. My sister was a big, what's the green one? Buttercup?
Yes, I think that sounds right. Yeah, she's the super mean one. She's like, she's in it to like break necks.
Yeah. My sister had a kinship with her for some strange reason. I don't know why.
This is crazy.
I mean, how you gonna do Mojo Jojo? Yeah.
These are questions I have. I feel like none of that's going to show up, right? I feel like it's just going to be them living their lives as disillusioned 20-year-olds. Look, I think Greg Berlanti he is a talent. I do think that his shows tend to be very formulaic, but at the same time, I can't hate that much because one of my favorite shows of all time, You, is also done by Greg Berlanti. So, I need it more on the You side of Greg Berlanti's talent than the DC shows. But I have a feeling it's likely to be more like the DC TV shows just because it's on the CW.
And Mojo Jojo just stalking people.
Yeah, just like coming, like showing up on the trees and shit.
Falling in love with Buttercup, but Buttercup doesn't give him the time of day. So Pink One is a bitch. And she's just using Buttercup to, I forget the first season.
Did you ever watch the second season of You?
No, I didn't. I didn't even finish the first season.
Yes, you gotta finish that show. Yeah. I feel like you are missing out. It is so good. That is like my favorite trash television. I love it.
That one woman really got on my nerves. And when I thought she was dead and wasn't dead, I got kind of mad.
Wait, which one?
The first season. The bitch friend. The cunt woman.
You didn't get that far, did you?
Didn't she? I got to the point where she got hit in the head.
All right.
Right? Like,
keep watching.
Her in the head.
Keep watching.
And then, but she was alive after that. I'm like, what the fuck, yo?
Keep watching.
Bitch.
Keep watching.
All right, well, I need her to hurry up and die.
Keep watching. Don't read ahead. She dead. She's super dead. It's kind of fucked up, actually. For her, not for the audience. It was fine.
The idea.
No, I was dying when she died. I was like, yes. It was like Joffrey dying. I was like, yes. Now back to the stalking. That's what I'm here for. That's totally normal. No, I don't like this idea of making them disillusioned 20-year-olds. I hate that. Like, look, I'm not mad at the idea, I guess, but that immediately removes any interest I have in it. Because I like that cartoon is super crazy and wild, and if they were going to do live action, like, are they still going to have powers? Or are they just like, they never show them, and it's just like they have super strength when they're just like, they need to move a refrigerator around their small but trendy apartment that they all three share.
Depends on how much money they have.
So that's exactly what's going to happen. Got it. All right. This is going to be three Supergirls living in an apartment together, dating, but not wanting to tell their boyfriends about their superpowers. All right.
Having superpowers is not as cracked up as you think it is.
Yeah,
it is.
Yeah, no, it's super cool, actually. I wish I had them. Wow, that is a massive disappointment. Next.
HBO wants to splash in the deep sea sci-fi of Michael Crichton's Sphere.
I have a question. Have you ever seen Sphere before?
I have not.
Let me just say this. Sphere has one of the worst endings of any movie I've ever seen that I thought was really interesting in the first 2 acts. One of the worst. So the idea here is that in the original story, these 3 scientists, they end up going out like to the ocean where they find this spacecraft under the water, right? I'm like, all right, this is cool. It's Samuel L. Jackson. I'm trying to remember who else is it. It's Samuel L. Jackson, Dustin Hoffman, and I don't remember who the other person is. And so they go out there and they're like, all right, cool, we found it. And the thing starts to like make that like whatever they imagine starts happening, right? Like because of this thing. And at the end, like all these bad things happen, and at the end they're just like, well, why don't we imagine this thing just never existed. Like, and then it was just like, it just flew out of the water and just like back to space. It was gone. Like that was the ending. They just imagined nothing happened. That was it.
That sucks.
It's a stupid ending. It's a very stupid ending. And I don't know if that's exactly...
It's a cop-out ending.
It's a very much a cop-out ending. So, look, if you're saying that the series is not going to be like that, but all the other parts right up to the end, okay, cool. That's fine. It's a really interesting movie for 2 acts. The 3rd act is horrendous. So...
There's going to be, the Hollywood Reporter is reporting that the creators of Westworld, Lisa Joy and Jonathan Nolan, are turning Sphere into an HBO series with a Westworld writer who will serve as the series showrunner. Team Downey, the company behind the HBO's gritty take on Perry Mason, will also produce.
Have you watched any of that?
No, I keep seeing it on my... on my television.
I watched the first episode. I need to get back into it. It is real good. Like, it's super good. Dude, yeah. Perry Mason's not fucking around. That show is super serious. Yeah, it's... Oof, yeah. That first episode is a little rough. Like, not in quality, but just, like, there's some shit that happens that's just, like, it's a little rough to watch.
Well, there you go. So... Sphere, look, it's on HBO. I'll give it an episode.
I'll give it a watch. It cannot have a worse ending than that movie. So, yeah, and it's done by the Westworld people, so it'll probably be way too smart for me. Probably, I feel like an idiot when I watch Westworld.
It'll probably be way too smart for its own good.
Yes.
Like, and then in the 3rd season, they just kind of like, oh shit, we're too smart for our own good, so let's just throw some action in here.
Yes, with some fucking robots in there. Oh, look, I just signed up for Apple TV. Go ahead.
Chris Hemsworth reportedly up for the male lead role in Mad Max Furiosa. I still haven't seen that movie.
How, dude? How? Mad Max Fury Road is awesome.
Should I even bother?
Yes.
If it's not on a big screen?
No, you should still watch it. Like, it's just great filmmaking. Like, it just is. It's fun. It's fun as hell. My wife enjoyed it.
Huh.
So,
does she remember enjoying it?
She doesn't remember any movies, but I was there when she watched it and she enjoyed it. It's just it's a fun ride, man. It's a fun ride. I don't know if your wife would like it, but I know for a fact you'll like it. I think you will.
She might watch it, but she'll watch anything. Literally anything.
It's just a super wild ride. Like, that's all it is. I mean, it's a Mad Max movie. But, yeah, George Miller knows how to put shit together. So
it will be a prequel.
Yes.
The movie is going to focus on a younger Furiosa. Charlize Theron will not be playing the character.
Of course. Makes sense.
George Miller will cast a new actress to take on the role. And both Judy Comer and Anya Taylor-Joy have been rumored to be up for the part.
I don't know who either one of these women
are. Judy Comer is in Killing Eve.
Oh, okay.
She's a Villanelle. She's Villanelle.
Oh, okay. I wasn't looking at the story. Oh, well, that would work. She can do action.
Anya Taylor-Joy is
from Glass. I know who she is. Yeah. Nah, I go Judy Comer on that.
Yeah, me too. Just because I'm a fan of hers.
Oh.
So the guy's name is Dementis, and he is described as breathtakingly handsome, an angel's face scarred by a deep forehead wound stitched together with shiny chrome staples. No word if this character is a hero or a villain. Villain.
Come on.
There's also no confirmation if Hemsworth has even been approached for the role, but it seems like Hemsworth would make a good fit in the world of Mad Max.
Wait, whoa. You wrote an article with the title, he's reportedly up for the lead male role, and then you say he's not even approached. It would just be a good idea? What kind of fucking writing is that? No, fuck you, dude. Fuck Geek Tyrant. That's some bullshit writing. Don't say that. Don't say he's up for the role. You just said he's in... All right, that really pissed me off. All right, next story. That's stupid. That's bad. I'm never using that site again. That is bad writing. Wow. Oh, he's up for the role. Oh, read further down. He's not up for the role. Oh, come on, just write Chris Hemsworth would be good for this role. Like, oh, because that wouldn't get you enough clicks? Fuck you. Next story. That really pissed me off.
Jason Todd will become the Red Hood in Titans season 3.
Okay.
I have yet to watch Titans, but I think it's coming to HBO Max.
Spoiler alert for the next story.
I'll check it out then.
Yeah, I'm gonna watch it when it goes to HBO Max. I wasn't getting DC Universe like ever, but
I still have to watch
check it
Doom Patrol. Literally everyone who has seen Doom Patrol says it's the best thing ever. So
I have not finished Doom Patrol, but I thoroughly enjoyed what I had watched so far. So yeah,
he's going to play the Red Hood, and
it's pretty fast.
Is it? I mean, I don't know.
He did not get murdered, so apparently he just got mad at his other Bat friends and just drove off in a huff. That was the last time we saw him at the end of season 2, and I guess he's just going to come back and he's like, nah, it's Red Hood now. Like, Jason, is that you? Nah, there's somebody else. Don't worry about it. Like, and he's little. Like, he's a little guy. He's going to be the Red Hood? Okay.
Oh, he is?
He looks pretty small. Doesn't look like a particularly large gentleman.
I mean, he'll be like the Red Gnome or something. Right?
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, look at the picture in the article. That kid is 12.
I thought that. So who's the guy that said "fuck Batman"?
That's Nightwing.
Huh?
Yeah. No, fuck Batman. Get out of here. Fuck that guy. It's edgy. That's what the teens are saying now.
Hey, all right, that's fine. I figured that guy would have been Red Hood, but he's Dick Grayson. So
yeah, you would. Yeah, but I mean, Grayson would be older than Jason Todd, so that makes sense. I just wouldn't have thought Jason Todd was this much younger. He's almost like Damian Wayne's age.
Yeah, that's what I thought. This kid looked like a 12-year-old.
Yeah, he looks super young. So I mean, that's just one picture of him, but yeah, he just looks incredibly young. But good for them to just they're kind of going for it and just fuck it. Like, look, people want to see the Red Hood. Nobody wants to see Jason Todd as Robin. They want to see the Red Hood. So
yeah,
that's fine.
Yeah.
So I don't know if they're doing the like he dies in the Lazarus pit and all this other stuff. Probably not. I think he's just going to get.
Not.
They're just actually. I think in the comics it says like they're not doing that. They're just going straight for like fuck it. He just got mad and put a hood on and just are murdering people. Okay.
It's more believable than what happened.
Right. So I guess this is a super duper realistic version of the story. I don't know. Again, neither one of us has watched Titans. But I guess people who have been watching it, is this more of a non-magical sort of universe? Like it seems like it is. So I'm not sure. Although, isn't this crossing over? No, because Titans has no, they have magic on there because they have a couple of magical characters.
They have Starfire on that, right?
Yeah, Starfire's on there, and Beast Boy's on there. So yeah, never mind. They do have magical powers, but I guess they're not going with. I mean, there certainly isn't. The Joker isn't in this series, but they said they're not ruling out an appearance from him. So maybe he shows up, hits this nigga with the crowbar a couple of times, and blows his ass up, and then then we get the Red Hood. But it just seems weird. Like I feel like they should have just started the series with him as the Red Hood, but whatever. It's kind of cool to see him live action being done because I don't think we've seen that yet.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, they could have. Well, I've never seen the show, but like the Red Hood as a character could have been like who is the Red Hood? You know what I mean? Like you could have got a whole season arc out of that.
I mean, maybe that's what they're gonna do. Maybe they act like, or maybe it's like 5 years later and then he shows up. I don't know. I have no idea. I mean, Batman is in this series. Like he's made a couple of appearances, played by that guy who was a simp to Daenerys in Game of Thrones, who had the dragon scale skin for a while.
Oh, that guy.
Yeah, he's Bruce Wayne.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah. So
that seems kind of old.
Yeah, but I mean, again,
whatever.
It's fine.
Multiverse.
Yeah. Like, hey, if we say it, it's fine. All right, movie and TV news this week. Speaking of the DC Universe, Jim Lee reveals that the DC Universe original content will all be transferring over to HBO Max, thus pretty much giving the answer that yes, the DC Universe as we know it as a streaming service necessarily is dead. My guess is this going to probably be converted into a comic book only kind of thing in this sort of DC Fandome kind of thing, which makes sense.
Pay for it?
Probably. I mean, if you convert it into something like Marvel Unlimited for like DC Unlimited, sure.
Okay.
By the way, that'd be a smart play. If you wanted to do DC Fandome again, but you wanted to make money, say you have to be a DC Universe or whatever they call it, subscriber, and then you can get it, right? You can only watch it through there.
Well, I guess I'm not watching DC Fandome again.
Right. But maybe you could just pay for the monthly subscription. I don't know. And it's like, or maybe they keep that yearly thing because I think they're getting rid of monthly subscriptions. But maybe you could pay for a year or for a month and it's like $10 or something. And then, or you could pay exclusively just to get the DC Fandome thing. I don't know.
Yeah, I don't want to pay for it.
Oh, I'm not going to either, but I'm just saying like, that's kind of to me, that would be a way to give people an incentive to watch your exclusive content and you can also make money on it. So,
yeah.
Which is kind of a business thing. So yeah, everything is moving over. He also went on Lee made it clear that there's still a place for the DC Universe under the Warner Media umbrella. Says, quote, in regards to the community and the experience that the DCU created and all the backlist content, something like 20,000 to 25,000 different titles, and the way it's connected to fans 24/7, there's always going to be a need for that. So we're excited to transform it, and we'll have more news on that, what that will look like. It's definitely not going away. So my guess is probably correct, which is this is going to be DC Unlimited.
Yeah.
And look, you just call it DCU, U for Unlimited instead of Universe, and then just move on. It's not that hard. And look, if it's priced right, maybe I might be tempted to buy it. Because there are some DC comics I would like to read, and I don't need to read everything brand spanking new either. All right. Next up, this is a funny situation. I'm using that terrible site again, but this is a funny situation. Sony is developing a comic book movie based on a comic book that's not out yet. Sony's Pictures has picked up the rights to Aftershock Comics' upcoming comic series, The KAIJU Score, that they will be developing into a feature film. The comic actually has a pretty cool concept, as it follows a group of criminals who attempt to pull off a perfect heist during a giant monster attack on their city. Which is kind of a fun idea. Like an Ocean's 11 mixed with a Godzilla movie. I'm down with that.
Did they plan it? Like,
right? Did they release the kaiju? Like, that's got to be a part of it, right? Like,
or did they plan it like in Ocean's 11, and we go through the scene of, okay, well, you're going to do this and you're going to do this and this is going to happen and this is going to happen, and then on the day when it's time to execute, everybody's like on point, and then all of a sudden, fucking Parasite just comes down and starts stepping on people, and Superman's got to talk them to death.
Right. Don't watch cartoons. Yeah, no, that would be a better play, right? Is that everything was planned ahead of time, and then they have they have to improvise because of the kaiju attack. Like, that would be really dope. That's a cool idea. But yeah, this comic book isn't out yet. It's not even finished. Like, it's not like, oh, they're finished and they're like ready to go. Like, no, it's not even out. Like, they don't even know how the story ends. So they're literally building the plane while flying.
I mean, it worked for HBO and Game of Thrones. So,
well, for some people it did. For a lot of people it did not. So I don't know.
It worked for HBO.
Okay, that's fair. That's fair. That is very fair. So I thought it was kind of a cool idea, though. Like, I like the idea of it. So we'll see. We'll see. The kaiju score.
It's cool that, these people's ideas were purchased, so hopefully they made some money.
Yeah, hell yeah. They got to deliver on that comic book. It better not be a piece of shit.
And, depending on how the movie goes, you have an opportunity to see the movie script and then tweak your comic.
Yeah. And be like, we're not going to do that part because that's not good. Or you have an opportunity to work with the writers of the movie to make that much better of a movie, right?
Yeah.
So that's kind of
then you can start writing movies instead of comic books.
Clearly. And by the way, this is like textbook, the type of bullshit movie I would watch.
Yeah, why not?
Look, Sony, just sell the rights to Netflix. This is a Netflix movie this is a Netflix original movie if I've ever heard it in my life. The KAIJU score starring Jamie Foxx and Joseph Gordon-Levitt. I'll watch it. Fine. I'll review your fucking mediocre movie. Get out of here. Netflix cancels Altered Carbon after 2 seasons. Did you watch the second season of this?
No, I didn't.
You said you were going to. You lied to the people.
I did. I didn't really finish the first season either.
Me either.
I don't like RoboCop in certain things, right? He's good in very, very specific roles. And
I just could not get into this show at all.
And it's because I like the book, man. Like, I really enjoyed the book. Like, the book is right up my alley.
Military sci-fi schlock.
It's sci-fi noir, man, and I really dug it, but it's just Joel Kinnaman is just such a block of wood, man, and it just killed me. Killed my buzz, man.
I tried, man. Like, I watched maybe half of that show, and I was like, all right, I like the concept. Like, the concept is cool. Like, I'm in for it. Like, it's shot really well, and like it was like kind of high concept-y, to an extent, and like I was digging it. But I was like, I don't like the acting in this. I just do not. I don't like the dialogue. And then I fell off of it after a couple episodes. And then it's like the second season. I was like, all right, who's going to be the guy? And they were like, Anthony Mackie. I was like,
Again, it's another one. Look, I like Anthony Mackie in
some things. Roles, man. Yep. I like him as Falcon. I look forward to him as Captain America or whatever, however that shakes out. But I don't think I would like Altered Carbon with him either. I just don't. I don't think either one of them in that particular role is very strong. But I haven't seen, in fairness, I have not seen his performance.
Yeah, I'm going off of other Anthony Mackie performances, and they're hit and miss for me.
Yeah, and I like the guy.
They're mostly hits.
Yeah, but that's true.
But he's not one of those actors that I just kind of get lost in the role with. You know what I mean? Like,
no, I can't.
I'm very aware that this is Anthony Mackie.
Right. I'm like, yo, that's Anthony Mackie running around calling himself Takashi Kofex or whatever. Like,
right.
Like, no. No. That this is not a loss for me. Excuse me, Takashi Kovacs or Takashi Kotex. If you want to go with that. If you want to be a real asshole. Next up, let's start getting into things that are a little bit more interesting. Slash Film has a wonderful breakdown of all of the characters from the upcoming Suicide Squad movie, and I could not be more delighted to talk about the madness that is this movie. So, and by the way, this week, I think what I want to do is I want to jump right to trailers, and then we'll do what the fuck at the end. Because there's a lot of like meaty conversation here.
You want to skip? You want to do? I see you had a question. Do you want to do the question first and then come back to this, or?
Yeah. All right, let's do that. Let's do question of the week now, and then we'll do the Suicide Squad group, and then we'll jump right into trailers.
For people who enjoyed what they saw at DC Fandome, what was your favorite reveal? Leonardo says King Shark is a shark, which is a line from one of those movies that you don't like because you hate animation. And
I like that show. That show is funny.
As a form of storytelling.
At its most basic, I hate animated features of all kinds.
Warren says Rocksteady Suicide Squad can't wait considering what they did with the Arkham series. Well, you're gonna wait. You're gonna wait 2 years. Ken says
that's a long time, dude.
It is. Ken says I'm going to spend the weekend looking up everyone who is about to die in Suicide Squad film. And then he points a picture of not Deadshot, like Bloodsport or whatever.
Yeah, Bloodsport.
Eddie says the Batman trailer was my favorite reveal. So all of these fanboys, quote unquote, that crapped on Robert Pattinson being Bruce Wayne / Batman before even seeing the trailer can now proceed the process of removing their feet from their mouths. Leonardo comes back and says the only thing cooler than Batman is the Bat Family. You can't wait to play as Nightwing with his buns of steel, Barbara and huge brain, Damian, Tim, and Jason with his signature murder. It's Tim Drake, not Damian. That's in that video game.
Yeah.
Trey says James Gunn's Suicide Squad. It's nice that he gets a shot after they tried and failed to rip him off already. Hashtag David Ayer isn't Mexican.
Yes, he is. If you make enough movies about Mexicans, you become Mexican. That's how it works.
Ramon says, I'm a simple man. You play one of my favorite Outcast songs in a game scene and make it work. I'm going to get a bit excited about your game. I'm not mad at that. Khalif says the Suicide Squad game teaser. Johnny says finding out Peacemaker had the power of invisibility. Anthony says, oh, this wasn't too shabby. And then he puts a picture of Gotham Knights there. Brian says Wonder Woman 84. I like that those movies look and feel nothing like the Snyderverse. Yeah, we're going to elaborate a little more on that later. Keep that no talent fuck away from Leonard Cohen's catalog.
God damn.
He may be good at recreating comic panels shot for shot, but that's about it. And he never met a color palette he couldn't wash out. God damn.
The man has a family. Jesus Christ.
I make movies for grown-ups, motherfucker. You make movies for incels.
Is that what someone wrote?
That's what Brian wrote.
Wow. I mean, maybe he's not that wrong. I've seen Sucker Punch before. It's bad.
It is. Anthony says, obviously, Black Adam, and he posts a picture of The Rock as Fanny Pack Rock with wearing a Black Adam outfit.
He should be. That should be his costume in the movie. 100%. Right there.
Jesus Christ. Kyle says the
Tits
Suicide Squad panel. Michael says the Justice League Snyder Cut. Rashawn posts a gif of Batman just beating the brakes off of some dude.
Yep.
And Cam says, I am vengeance. I really hope the movie is good. I need people to calm down on both sides, though. A well-cut trailer doesn't equal a great movie, but I also need people to stop thinking it's going to be a complete shit just because Pattinson took some checks for some shitty vampire movies when he was younger. Penguin looked cool, and Riddler seemed like he's going to be well done.
More on that later. All right. So let's jump right into the breakdown of the team for Suicide Squad. Look, this is I think we can talk about this sort of behind the scenes thing that they showed at Fandome because they don't have a trailer just yet. And this is when is this coming out? Sometime next year? I'm not sure exactly when. First up is Viola Davis as Amanda Waller. She looks exactly the same. She looks like the same angry, taking no prisoners, no nonsense character she played in the first one. Fine with it.
Yeah.
Nothing needs to change about that character at all. Rick Flagg, played by Joel Kinnaman again. I like that they're kind of maybe making him a little less serious and kind of, like he's a serious character, but he's a serious character in a completely goofball movie. So he doesn't appear to be doing a John Wayne impression anymore, which is good.
Yeah, you need the straight man. You need the one guy grounded in some sort of reality,
right?
To enhance the craziness of everyone else,
right? And they're playing this as what they were saying is a 1970s war film, right? Which feels right to me. Like that feels about right because it's all of the Suicide Squad versus like all these other guys in some like unnamed South American country. More on that later. I don't know if you've heard who the possible villain is, but it's super interesting. Some people think it's Starro. Like the big, starfish alien that puts little mini starfishes on people's faces and controls their minds.
Yes, I remember him from one of those like Justice League Unlimited cartoons.
Yeah, because there's some footage of like people laying on the ground with looks like the Starro things on their face.
Wow,
that's about as goofy of a villain as you would expect. That's perfect for James Gunn.
Yeah, it's James Gunn. Like I wouldn't be surprised, man.
Yeah. So I kind of love that. Margot Robbie, of course, is returning as Harley Quinn. Look, this costume looks good. She's wearing pants. She looks like a fucking serious character. Like, she's goofy because, like, that's the character, but yeah, I like it. She's got a bazooka. Like, yeah, this is the Harley I want to see.
Yeah.
So I like this. And it feels more in line with how they presented her in Birds of Prey, by the way. Less like just... I thought she was almost completely mindless in the first Suicide Squad. Like I did not care for her character.
Bad guys.
Yeah. Ugh.
Like,
you haven't seen Birds of Prey, have you?
Not yet. I think it's on HBO. I'm gonna watch it.
Yeah, you should check it out. I think you would enjoy it. And I think if people actually gave that movie a chance, I think they'd probably like it a lot more than they thought. Jai Courtney returns as Captain Boomerang. Look, I thought he was great in the first one. So more of him actually using a boomerang would be great. Get this man some trick boomerangs, right? Like do something fun with him.
Yeah.
As Digger Harkness. Idris Elba as Bloodsport. Apparently Bloodsport has been in prison for trying to shoot Superman with a kryptonite bullet. And so he is joining the team. So, okay. Some people think he's kind of just a general stand-in for Deadshot, but I think he's a little bit different than that.
He is, and they didn't want to recast Deadshot in case Will Smith wanted to come back in a future movie. So they were like,
okay.
All right, well, let's get another sharpshooter. Let's get another black sharpshooter. Let's get a black sharpshooter because Deadshot originally wasn't a black dude.
Yeah.
And
that's fine.
Yeah, fine. Whatever. Bloodsport.
Yeah.
He might fucking die. Like Bloodsport's dying.
You're calling it? All right, let's start. Okay, let's start at the beginning. Rick Flagg, he survives, right?
Rick Flagg survives. I think Rick Flagg survives.
Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. She survives.
I mean, of course, right? Margot Robbie's she's a franchise.
Right. Captain Boomerang.
I really like Captain Boomerang. I hope that he sticks around for at least one more movie.
Yeah. Well, and I feel like you got to put Captain Boomerang in a Flash movie at some point, right? Like he's got to be a good Flash movie.
Exactly. Idris Elba's going because it's Idris Elba.
Right? Yeah, he ain't sticking around for multiple movies for this.
He ain't sticking around for multiple movies. He is arguably one of the bigger names,
right,
in the film. And yeah, and you know, the shocking, you know, it's one of those BS shocking deaths, right? It's like Sam Jackson dying halfway through Deep Blue Sea.
Right.
You know?
Right. You didn't see it coming. But except for this one, we're definitely going to see it coming. He's definitely going to die. David Dashmalchian as Polka Dot Man. Known as Mr. Polka Dot in the comics, his real name is Abner Krill, and he's responsible for creating a polka dot covered suit where the dots can be removed from the costume and turned into a variety of useful weapons and items, not to mention a gateway vehicle that looks like a flying saucer. In the comics, Polka Dot Man once captured Robin, though was inevitably defeated by Batman. Will that be a part of his big screen history, too?
That sounds fun.
Oh,
Fun
yeah.
enough to be alive at the end of this movie.
Yeah, I feel like you're going to expect that guy to die, and he survives because of how ridiculous he is. Right? Polka Dot Man. John Cena as Peacemaker, a man who wants peace so bad that he's willing to kill for it. He's described as a douchey Captain America.
I mean, if that ain't John Cena, I don't know what is, man.
Yeah, he's going to die, right? He's definitely going to die.
You know what? I think he might live.
Okay. All right.
Just because it's John Cena.
I need a Peacemaker movie, right? We're getting a Peacemaker franchise.
I think douchey Captain America has legs.
Look, I think John Cena is a criminally underused wrestler turning into an actor. Criminally underused. I think
especially
he could super nail
comedic, especially for his comedic timing.
Right. I feel like he's going to nail this role.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking he's going to be alive by the end of this thing.
Here's a guy who's definitely going to die. Michael Rooker as Savant.
He's going to die because it's Michael Rooker. Yep.
Oh, he's got to die. He's got to die, right? Savant is a spoiled heir to an enormous fortune, which he had hoped to become a vigilante in Gotham City like Batman. But Batman discouraged his heroics because Savant didn't seem to care much about protecting others. So instead, he used his genius computer skills to create a blackmailing business, which became quite successful. Savant is also great at hand-to-hand combat, but due to his chemical imbalance, he's hindered by a terrible short-term memory. That should be pretty funny to play around with. I like that. Here's another guy who's going to definitely die. Fuel Borg as Javelin. He's a German comedian, by the way, if you don't know. Former Olympic athlete turned criminal, Javelin is known for using weapons inspired by the very spears he would throw in competition. After the battle with Green Lantern, in which he surprisingly got the upper hand before inevitably being captured, he agrees to join Suicide Squad in order to be acquitted of his crimes.
Yeah, he's definitely dying.
Yeah, so I don't see how that's not going to happen. Ratcatcher, Daniela Melchior as Ratcatcher 2, a former exterminator turned criminal, has a special ability to communicate with trained rats to do her bidding. Since she's so tight with rats in Gotham City, she's also very knowledgeable about Gotham's sewer system. And it makes it easy to smuggle items in and out of prison. She has a gas gun as well.
This one I don't know.
I think she survives.
I think she survives, and this is me being sexist, because you can't just have Harley Quinn be the only woman that survives.
That's true. There is another woman there's a couple more women in the thing anyway. In the cast. Peter Capaldi, a personal favorite of mine, is playing the Thinker, who has a genius level intellect, and when combined with a special thinking cap, he has the perception that borders on clairvoyance. In the comics, he accepted a mission with the Suicide Squad in exchange for a full pardon of various crimes. But he actually ends up getting supposedly killed by Weasel, who's also in the Suicide Squad.
Oh, well, then he's dying.
But he didn't really die, so you never know. Mei Ling Ung.
He'll be one of those characters that kind of dies but comes back due to comic book shenanigans.
I see him. So I see this movie as like Con Air. I see him as a Steve Buscemi character.
Okay.
Right? the pedophile that they just let go in the end, which was weird. Mei Ling Ung as Mongol.
She survives.
What's that?
She survives.
Yeah, that's probably true. As the daughter of an alien space conqueror named Mongol the Elder, or I'm sorry, her name is Mongal. Mongal has many superhuman abilities. She and her twin brother Mongol the Younger once battled Superman together and lived to tell the tale. However, she did almost have her throat ripped out by Crypto the Superdog. Perhaps that could result in the few playful jabs at the rest of the Suicide Squad if something they might include in the movie. So,
isn't she a denizen of Apocalypse?
Mongol is. Yeah, so I assume she is as well.
So that's why I'm thinking she will survive, right? Like, she's got to be in New Gods, right?
I doubt it. But maybe Mongol is, but I doubt she is. I doubt it. She might just straight up die. I'm putting money on she dies.
All right.
Pete Davidson, dead.
He's dead.
Super dead.
He's halfway dead in real life.
Right.
So,
He's playing someone named the Black Guard. Originally recruited by the criminal organization known as the Thousand, Black Guard got his ass kicked by Booster Gold and kicked out of the group. Before that, there's not a lot of details about the character. Oh, he's just there for comedic effect.
Yeah.
So his death, I would imagine, is going to be the funniest, or he survives and even he's surprised by it. Right? Which is, also equally as hilarious. Alice Braga. She's probably playing a gender swap version of Juan Soria. She's playing Sol Soria, who actually is a member of the Suicide Squad. After injuring his hand, Juan Soria injected nanites into his body, giving him the ability to place his hand against any locked object and make it automatically unlock. It's not that great of a superpower, I have to say. Just not.
It's a skeleton key.
Yes. So she will probably survive. I think she's from that show, Queen of the South. I think that's her. Okay. She's super fine. Nathan Fillion as TDK. This character is going to die. Many people think he's just playing arm fall off boy whose arms and legs would just detach. That's it. That's his superpower. They think maybe TDK stands for the detachable kid. So we'll see. Sean Gunn, James Gunn's brother, is playing Weasel, who seems to be some sort of weird anthropomorphic weasel, instead of a man wearing a weasel costume, which is what the original one was. But we don't know if that might be just an elaborate costume. So who knows?
Yeah.
I have no idea if this character is going to die.
I have no idea what's going to happen with this character. But you can't have two mascot characters. And by the process of elimination, I think Weasel is going to go because ain't nobody killing off King Shark.
And last but not least, King Shark as himself. Taika Waititi is doing voice work for this movie, but they haven't said who he's playing. My guess is King Shark. That seems to be everyone else's guess. And also, King Shark looks like a fucking shark. Like, they're going for it. Like, he looks like he does in the Harley Quinn cartoon, basically.
Yeah.
So just like a big lovable shark man. Like, are they going to explain it? No, fuck you. Like, who cares? He's a giant shark man.
Oh shit.
I love it.
So yeah, King Shark is he's sticking around.
I think King Shark is going to make a run in the DC world as quite a popular character, right? He's a popular character on the Harley Quinn cartoon. He's going to be in this. He's in the video game. Yeah, like I feel like
people like sharks, yo.
Yeah, except for the president. He hates sharks. So if you like sharks, just saying.
What?
Yeah, he has a whole thing about sharks. He thinks they should all be killed. That's a true story. Yeah, they should all be killed. All of them. He's terrified of sharks.
Oh my God.
Like, this dude doesn't even like fucking Shark Week. This is the most un-American person I've ever met in my entire life. Get out of here. He doesn't like sharks. Yeah, look it up. I'm not making it up. Yeah, he's got like a weird vendetta against sharks. I think his mom was killed by a shark or something.
What, a shark's black?
Yeah, black shark. Yeah, get out of here. Hate it. Is it a Mexican shark? No. All right, let's go right into trailers and then we'll come back. We'll double back to do what the fuck.
Wow, he said I'm not a big fan of sharks.
Yo, he doesn't like him. Yo, I'm telling you, he said they should all be eliminated. He's a crazy person.
Wow.
Yeah. It's a bit weird. All right, Micah, your thoughts on the teaser trailer for Black Adam?
All right, so I watched that Black Adam panel, right? I like The Rock. And I feel like I have to say this because every time I talk about The Rock, it's usually in some sort of derogatory way. But let me just say, I really do like The Rock. From every report that everyone says, he's just a nice guy, right? But the thing I can't stand about The Rock is that The Rock is a guy who is, when he is focused on something, like, he gets shit done.
Yeah, he does. That's true.
And this movie has been in development for a decade, which means he doesn't really give a shit about this. And you can hear it when he's talking about the movie, right? Like, he dropped the word villain in the panel, right? He says, whether you think he's a hero or, a villain or
villain.
Right. Like, it was like that, right?
Yeah.
But did
he refer to Black Adam as being an anti-villain?
Yeah, anti-hero. Like, he's pushing the hero thing, right?
It's not a hero.
But whenever he's talking about this movie, it feels like a kid who has been brought up to the front of the class to talk about a book that he was supposed to read but didn't.
Right.
And that's
his heart's not in this role.
Right. It doesn't feel like you can be like, oh, yeah, he's the most badass guy. He was the thing that really hit home for me was that he was a slave. He was a slave. And he broke his shackles. And now he's the most badass that ever asked anything bad.
I should watch out for my wine glass to make sure it doesn't go flying off the table.
But that's all he can say about it, right? Like, and he gave more information, right? He mentioned that the Justice Society is in it. He named some other characters that are going to be in it, like Dr. Fate and people like that. But I came away from that panel knowing, one, he's just not into it.
He's not.
And
just
two,
recast the role.
He just wants to fight Superman. That's it. He just wants to fight Superman. He wants to punch Superman. Like, that's all there is to it. And he's all like, there's a paradigm shift in the DC universe, and it starts now. Like, like he's very intense, right? Like, he's an actor, right? Like, he's very intense and shit.
Right.
For a guy who was a professional wrestler, who had his heyday in professional wrestling when there weren't scripted promos, right? Like, he would just go off the cuff. You would think that he could at least bullshit his way better through trying to get people hyped for this Black Adam thing. Now, he's worked with a famous digital artist to create a series of concept images, really. I wouldn't even call it a trailer or a teaser.
No, that's what they call it. I would not call it that. It's just concept images.
Yeah, it's a bunch of concept art, and the concept art looks good. It looks cool, right?
Yeah, it's fine.
But this is not, like, this movie has been in development for a decade, and they're just in the concept art phase.
I have many things to say in reference to this entire project, but I think my biggest issue is, why on anybody's earth would you take someone who is who has such a massive fan base of kids and young adults and make him not Shazam. I will never understand that. Like, to me, that is the worst casting of all. It's the worst miscasting, right? Like, okay, you could say, well, he, physically more resembles Black Adam. Sure, I'll give you that, I guess. But who cares? If they said The Rock is Shazam, people are just like, okay, everyone loves The Rock, dude. Like, they would have been on board with it. You could have given the role to like a young, brown kid, like a young, Samoan kid, because he probably wouldn't be black. Like a young Samoan actor. And then you get to be Shazam. By the way, you don't have to fight Superman. You get to stand toe to toe with him. You get to be a part of the Justice League. You get to be this mega star. Also, the whole point of that character, like, I like Shazam, right? I thought it was a fun little movie, and it worked. I thought it worked. It, wasn't like amazing, but it worked. Like, it knew what it was trying to do, and it did it, and I thought it did pretty well. But that movie, given The Rock's superpower and his comedic timing and everything else, I think that movie would have been a massive success. It would have been. So I never understand why they decided to make him go for the villain. It just never made sense to me.
And it's funny because
he doesn't want to be a villain.
Like, he's playing essentially Shazam in the Jumanji movies, right? Like, he's
I
playing
haven't seen those,
wimpy. So in the Jumanji movies, a wimpy kid, right, gets sucked into Jumanji, and he's playing, and then that kid selects the character that he has selected is the hero, who is The Rock, right? Who has no weaknesses,
right?
Like, is it too similar to that role? Probably, but like, who cares, yo?
Play the type, man. Get paid.
Like, is kid wish fulfillment? That's right. That's where he's already got the grown man wish fulfillment, right? He's The Rock, right? He's Dwayne Johnson. He's The Rock. He's already got the grown man wish fulfillment. If you get that kid wish fulfillment,
yeah, you're a star forever, man.
You raking in money forever.
But I just, like, if I'm DC and he's like, I want to play Black Adam because he's an anti-hero, and I'd be like, here's some concept art of you as Shazam. Now imagine being every kid's favorite hero who is just as strong as Superman. And by the way, Shazam and Superman
have fought
before, right? Like, when they first, he's like, yo, who the fuck are you? Who the fuck are you? And they just start battling at one point. Like, you get to fight Superman for a hot minute, trade blows, he hits you 5 times, you hit him 5 times because your egos are so, fragile. And then, you just agree to squash it. And then, you come together to fight Idris Elba at the end, right? As you would say. So, like,
but here's the thing, right?
So why not just do that?
Billy Batson idolizes Superman, right? And Billy Batson, as the boy and the grown man, is going to be like, "Whoa, you're Superman!" You think The Rock is going to want to do that?
See, that's what I'm saying, man. It's an ego issue. It's an ego issue. But and look. I mean, the guy's got him. He has a huge ego. He does, and like, he's earned it, right? Like, in a lot of ways, he's super earned it. And I understand why he does, but I just think his talent would have lent so much better to Shazam than it does with keeping this Black Adam movie like languishing. Also, we don't need a Black Adam movie. Like, it should be a Justice Society of America movie. That would be cool, but we don't need a Black Adam movie. Like, I don't see the point of it at all.
But I mean, look, we're doing all this. We spoke upon this for like, what, 5-10 minutes?
Yeah.
It doesn't matter because the movie ain't coming out.
You don't think so? You don't think it's getting made?
I think this movie is, I mean, look at what's going on right now, right? Like, movies that are actually in production are being held up, and this movie's been in development hell for a long time, man. And I feel like if something more tangible comes along, like The Rock is going to kind of pivot towards that and might push this. Like, I have no doubt that he wants to be a superhero, but at the same time, I don't know, man. There's something about this movie. I feel like it's not coming out for a long. If it does come out, I feel like it's not coming out for a long time.
But the thing is, and this is, I don't know if that's true or not, but the problem with that is it can't take too long because he's the nemesis of a character that exists. And how long are you going to keep Shazam on the shelf before he fights Black Adam? You can do 3 Shazam movies before he gets to him? That seems a little odd, you know? So if anything pushes this movie to happen, it would be that. But at the same time, like, I don't know. Maybe they felt like Shazam didn't do gangbusters, so they're like, that can sit on the shelf for a little bit, which I think is a mistake anyway.
Yeah.
I don't know. I think if it does eventually come out, I think there's a decent chance it's not with The Rock. I think he should be recast. I don't think he wants to do it. I just don't think so. I think he's trying to convince himself that he does.
Yeah, it's like we said, man. If The Rock wants to do something, it's going to get done. Like, it's going to get fast tracked, dude. Like, it's right. The Rock. He's still like the highest paid or one of the highest paid actors in Hollywood.
I think this year he was the highest paid. Like,
if he wants something done, like, it's gonna get done.
Right.
He's gonna push it through. Like, I think his heart's not in it.
How about this? If that movie doesn't go into production right after Jungle Cruise or whatever, I would agree with you. Like, there's no way, unless he's making like a small indie movie, if he's making another big Hollywood movie before this, I would be shocked. I would be shocked to know that this comes out with him in it. So look for DC Fandome next year where they announce a new actor for Black Adam.
Let's see what his filmography looks like.
Because his next movie is Jungle Cruise.
His next movie is Jungle Cruise, then Black Adam, and then Red Notice to be and Red Notice is filming.
Nah, I'm not buying it.
Red Notice, upcoming action comedy thriller. See, that seems like something he would want to do, man. Action comedy thriller starring Dwayne Johnson, Gal Gadot, Ryan Reynolds.
This.
He's doing this, He's doing this before.
He picked all the people in DC movies except to do a DC movie. He's like, nah, I'll be in with all my friends. Like, fuck that. He's supposed to hang out with his buddies.
And it's a Netflix movie.
Oh, come on. All right. He's not doing this movie. I'm highly dubious that this is actually coming out.
Dwayne Johnson is an Interpol agent who is the world's greatest tracker.
I mean, when is he not? All right, let's talk about, as you wrote here, Justice League: The Mulligan Cut. All right, Micah. On a scale of 1 to you seeing this?
I'll see it.
Yeah, we all have to watch it. Come on.
I'll see it. I mean, let's not be ridiculous, right?
It's 4 hours.
I don't hate this. I'm not sitting it in one sitting.
No, it's four episodes, an hour apiece, but it's 4 hours.
I'm curious. I am curious more than anything about this movie. It looks cohesive, right? Like it looks like it came from one guy's brain. The problem is that guy's brain is Zack Snyder. Now look, man.
And it's broken.
I really, really wish that this dude wasn't like the guy to have done this DC thing, man.
They really fucked up.
I don't it looks better than Justice League.
It does. I will 100% give you that.
It looks like a fucking Zack Snyder movie though, man.
Yeah.
It looks exactly like a Zack Snyder movie, and I don't want this to be Sucker Punch with DC heroes. Like Zack Snyder has a lot of like and Randy and bullshit that goes along with him.
Oh, yeah, of course.
And, you know, he doesn't, I don't think he gets the spirit of this, right? Like he's quoted as saying, I make these superhero movies for adults. Well, what does that even mean, dude? First of all, like, I know we all love this stuff, right? We all love this stuff.
Yeah, it's for kids.
It's designed for children. Like, it is meant for children to consume. And I don't mind different takes on it. I don't mind more adult takes on it. But, like, the essence of these things is it's for kids. And I don't know, man. I feel like this is just a guy giving himself a hand job on celluloid.
Just a couple things that maybe people are not aware of. There is no new footage being shot for this. This is all footage that Snyder originally shot, right? Because I remember when there was a whole thing when he left the project that one of the producers said, well, you know, it was like over 4 hours worth of shooting, and like we just couldn't, you know, that's why we had to cut so much of it out, and you know, there was just too much. Okay, so this is the full version. This is the full, you know, this is what you were going to get from him. So when this sucks, and I don't know that it will, but I'm pretty sure it will, because I saw Batman versus Superman, and that wasn't good. I don't want to hear anything else. I don't hear about release the Snyder Cut. They tried to hurt this by changing it. No, I don't want to hear any of this. This is the definitive Zack Snyder Cut. Let it be done.
But that's the thing, right? Like,
it'll never be enough.
The people who are already bought in, they're bought in. They're gonna love it.
Right, and that's fine.
They already love it.
Right,
and that's great. Like, I'm not here to shit on your to shit on your parade, man. Me myself personally, I feel as though while it will be finally a coherent vision of what this franchise is, right? I don't see myself enjoying it. And look, I'm praying to be wrong.
I would much rather be wrong than right. But I do think that I think it looks more coherent as a trailer. But I think largely it's going to be a mess. And I think it's going to be a mess because Zack Snyder is trying to do too many things at once. He is trying to bring all these characters together, some of which were just cast and had never been in anything else, right? Which isn't necessarily wrong, by the way, but trying to bring them all together, and they're very different characters in and of themselves, like fundamentally as characters. He's trying to do all that. He's trying to introduce a like super mega villain and two other smaller villains. He's also trying to finish the Batman versus Superman story. He's also trying to introduce like the Justice League Dark story in a way. Like, so there's like Flash time traveling in this. There's a lot of things going on, and he's also trying to make sort of a cyborg story in this as well. And I think that's not impossible for some directors, but I don't think it's going to work for him because I don't think he's as disciplined of a director as some.
Also, 4-hour cut of a movie, like, fuck you. Like, no, dude.
That's too long.
If you can't tell your story in a reasonable amount of time, and look, as much as we all love Endgame, shit was unreasonably long. It's over 3 hours. Like, yeah, it's unreasonably long. Like, look inside yourself, not just the first hour, second hour, third hour. Like that. Look inside yourself, yo. Like, I guarantee most people have not sat down and watched that 3-hour movie from front to back after they saw it from the theaters. They've watched the parts that they want to watch, right?
Right.
The end.
Right.
And it's a 4-hour cut of a movie is just the most self-indulgent thing I've ever heard from a director, dude.
Yeah.
Like,
you're not making Apocalypse Now, dude.
yeah,
like, relax. So I don't know. Again, I thought the trailer definitely looks better than the Justice League we got. I'm not blown away by the black suit Superman. It's just digitally made black, by the way. Like, there was no black suit. It was just digitally made black, which is why he has a cape, which is dumb.
Which is weird because the cape is digital also.
Right.
So, it didn't have to be there, but like, that's nitpicking stuff, right? Like,
no, but like, that suit was supposed to be in contrast to his regular suit in the comics. Like, there was a point to it, and he was just like, I don't know, it just looks slick. But that's Zack Snyder in a nutshell. Is it looks slick, so just put it in. Does it make sense? No, fuck it, who cares? Looks cool.
I don't hate the aesthetics. I don't like how everything is washed out.
Yeah,
and everything is blue.
Yes, I agree.
But because it makes everybody seem the same, and like, one of the big things about the Justice League is, the contrast between the dark and brooding Batman versus the hopeful, bright Superman,
right?
Versus Wonder Woman, who is just colors. Remember when Wonder Woman first came out, and we were like, oh my god,
yeah, the shit on Themyscira was bright as fuck.
It's bright, and there are colors, right? Like, it just, like, the design aesthetic, like, everything just, god damn it, dude.
It looks so blah.
God damn it.
Well, it looks like a very, a very overly serious movie. It does. And, whatever. Ironically, I think it has a, this is where I tend to differ from some people. This has it's a very dark take, and it's, a very serious take. But I don't think in a serious, it's trying to be serious, but it's not, which annoys me. Like, either take the material very seriously or just don't do that, right? Like, just, play to it how it's in the comics. Ironically, the Batman is a very serious take on material. It does not feel the same to me at all. Like, it feels like people, like a really serious director being like, what's the deeper meaning behind this? Let's take a serious take. This is like, let's just make it dark, bro, because bro's a bro and dark is cool. And that's what this feels like. It doesn't feel like there's a serious take on the material at all.
Because I'm an adult.
Right. And real men hate color, right? Where some things are dark because it's an actual serious thing. Like, I don't want Themyscira brightness in my movie, in Seven. Right? I don't need that, but I don't need the end of Wonder Woman to look like they turn a contrast down in the last fight. And that to me is the difference. This just feels like a very unserious movie trying to pretend to be a serious take. And it's not a serious take. It's ridiculous. Look, I'm going to watch it, and I'm going to watch, what I want to do is I want to sit down and watch Justice League. If I have time before next week, I want to sit and watch Justice League, the one that was released, because I haven't watched it since theaters because I love myself. I want to sit and watch that, and then I want to sit and watch this because I want to be able to do a 1-to-1 real comparison. So maybe I'll just wait until this is closer to coming out, really.
Yeah. I wouldn't watch Justice League more than a month before you watch the new one.
Yeah, that's fair.
The Mulligan cut.
The Mulligan cut. Next up, a new Wonder Woman 1984 trailer. Look, thought it looked great. Thought it looked great. They once again have, just opening this trailer. It's so bright. Look, you can see everything. There are people here. No one's brooding. It just looks clear and just competently shot, which is, it just looks fun.
It looks fun.
Yeah,
That's
just looks fun.
the thing. It looks fun, right? Like when Marvel. People are gonna like, well, it's not a Marvel movie, but I'm not saying that it needs to be a Marvel movie. But what I'm saying is, when Marvel finally decided, hey, whoa, we're actually doing this. We're actually getting these 3 different franchises to come together into a single franchise. They threw themselves a party, and that party was the Avengers.
Right.
Like, it was fun. The Snyder Cut doesn't seem fun. This movie, Wonder Woman 84, seems fun.
Yeah.
I just want fun. Like, you can have like serious movies with elements that are fun. And look, maybe the Snyder Cut has some fun elements. I don't know. We'll find out. But yo, God damn it, prove me wrong, man. Please.
Look, again, I would like, in all seriousness, I would love to be wrong that Black Adam isn't like The Rock just super fucking nails it and it comes out and he's in it. I would love for the Snyder Cut to be like, damn, wow, that is the definitive cut. That was really fucking good. By the way, just as an aside about Justice League, the Snyder Cut, what are they going to do when the Snyder Cut nerds demand that is the future, that's the future timeline, right? Like, Affleck's coming back in Flashpoint. Are they just not having Affleck come back after that? Is there no Batman in this universe?
Multiverse.
No, but I'm just saying, is there no Batman in their part of the universe?
Multiverse. One of the panels was.
I'm confused by this.
One of the panels was a Flash film panel.
Yes. Oh, that's right. We didn't talk about that.
And you saw the director, the writer, Ezra Miller, and I think one of the producers. They're doing Flashpoint.
Yeah, no, I know that. Yeah, of course.
And you see his new suit. You see Batman in it in the concept footage. They're doing Flashpoint. They're already doing a soft reboot with the Suicide Squad. Flashpoint will be another soft reboot with whoever is. I don't know who the Batman is in that, but that'll be your Batman.
Affleck's in it. He's Batman.
He's in that?
Yes. Affleck is Batman.
I guess, look, maybe he'll come back.
I'm just curious. Like, are they just moving forward with Ben Affleck? I'm fine with that, by the way. Like, I'm fine with their existing Batfleck and Robert Pattinson's Batman. Like, is 2 different parts of the multiverse. I'm fine with that. But I'm just curious as to what they're going to do. Like, how are they going to move forward from that? Are they just going to pretend like that's the end and then just start over with some of the same actors like they did with Suicide Squad, or what? I don't know.
Is Henry Cavill back?
Haven't said.
That's the question.
That's the one I care about, because I think he's a good Superman who just never got a chance.
Yeah.
It's not his fault.
So, anyway, Wonder Woman 1984 looks amazing. You get to see a little bit of Cheetah at the end of it.
I got to tell you, I think Kristen Wiig is going to fucking surprise people, man. She looks good. She looks good.
You know, I've heard some cynical people compare, Kristen Wiig's Cheetah to, they were like, oh, a nerd who gets powers because she feels, less than. I didn't like it when I saw Jamie Foxx do it in The Amazing Spider-Man, and I'm not going to like it now. I mean, come on, yo. Like,
you guys know comics are pretty similar. Like, you guys are aware of these stories are not all that different between companies.
I don't know, man.
That's the dumbest comparison I've ever seen.
It's the stupidest, like, non-point that someone can make about this movie.
I mean, Spider-Man kind of has the same story. It's the same story. You know why? Because nerds read books, and it's a nerd power fantasy.
Right.
That's all it is. They're touching right on the person reading. Hey, you're a loser. Don't you wish you were cool? It's like, I do. Why do you think Spider-Man's so popular? He's a dork. He's the same as the dorks reading his books. Us. Hello. It's not. I love when people are just completely not self-aware. It's amazing to me.
What do you think of the way Cheetah looks? It's
in the end?
Yeah.
I'm not mad at it. I think it looks about what I would expect. And that's not a slam on like DC or anything. That's just, I mean, as a live action Cheetah, look at how Cheetah looks for the most part, how she's drawn. Yeah, that's about right. Looks, yeah. I mean, that works for me. I think it looks dope.
I'm a little worried that this fight takes place at night.
Yeah, that might get a little CGI heavy.
And, darkness kind of hides CGI flaws.
Right.
So I'm hoping that I kind of want Cheetah. I hope Cheetah has a little more detail in her face. I'd like to see what Cheetah looks like during the day. Yeah,
there's a statue that was released as well. Let me see if I can find it. I had the link open, where you can kind of get a better look at her. Here I have the link.
Yeah, here it is. I see it.
Yeah, so it looks pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I think they have to work on some of the CGI and stuff, but it's still early. I'm not mad about that.
Yeah, I'm not mad at it. It looks good, man. And I'm actually interested. I'm actually interested to find out how Steve Trevor is there, and right. It's following the Captain America formula of I like that first movie, but I'm not a huge period piece guy.
Right.
But old school, 40s, right?
Right.
But
that was the 20s.
Well, yeah, that was World War I, right? Yeah. So, but this second movie is a little more contemporary, and yeah. So I got high hopes for this movie.
Yeah, I think it looks fun. But again, I think Kristen Wiig might surprise people, because I was certainly shocked to know that she was going to be Cheetah. That seemed weird to me. But comedians can pull it off, man. They can they can pull drama if they need to. So
comedians can pull off drama more than dramatic actors can pull off comedy.
100%. 100%. All right, let's talk about the shit that really matters. Your first trailer for the Batman. I know that people are, I agree with Cam. I think people are going a little too big on both sides. But here's what I'm going to say. Dude, I told you. I fucking told you, man. I told you. Is he going to be a sparkling vampire? Oh, he's a serious actor, dude. He's a serious actor with a bunch of other serious actors with a serious director. This shit looks great. It looks super good. I'm so excited. Colin Farrell is unrecognizable in this trailer.
Yeah. I didn't know it was him in the trailer. I didn't
either. I saw someone make a post about it. I was like, oh, I forgot he was in this. Yeah, I like that they're doing this as a year 2 story. I think the costume looks better in live action than I thought it would. And I was okay with the image I saw, but this looks much better. It looks even better in live action. Just seeing him move in it. And I'm super excited that his voice isn't ridiculous.
Yeah, nobody gives a fuck about the voice, dude.
No.
No one is like, hey, wait a minute, you sound like that guy. Just like if people can buy the whole Clark Kent Superman glasses thing and just roll with it,
yeah,
then people can roll with Batman sounding like Bruce Wayne.
Right.
First of all, nobody knows. Bruce Wayne doesn't just go around chatting people up. He's fucking rich.
Right. Nobody knows what he talks like.
Right. Like nobody knew that what Jared Kushner sounded.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like,
hey guys, it's me.
Right.
I'm really pissed right now. Yeah. There was a while, that was the running joke. There was a while I was like, I've never heard this guy speak. What the fuck? Like, that was months.
John Oliver did a joke, right? And he was like,
Yeah, I remember.
this is Jared Kushner speaking. Like they had Gilbert Godfrey
Right.
do a dub over it. And it was like, that sounds like Gilbert Godfrey, but you don't know.
Yeah, you have no idea if that is what he sounds like. Turns out he sounds exactly like Mickey Mouse. That's who he actually sounds.
Right. So I can roll with the voice thing, right?
And also in long stretches of dialogue, Bale sounded ridiculous.
Yeah, like
Like, it only takes a man with a coat around a child. It's like, all right, dude. Like, you're out of breath. It's ridiculous. Like,
it's distracting. You know?
Yeah, it was very distracting. Just give him like just a low register. Like that's fine. He doesn't need to say a lot. Like, just beat the bricks off of people. More on that later.
Right.
Like that's it.
Do what Kevin Conroy did and just raise your voice as when you're Bruce Wayne. Hey guys. It's
Right.
me, Bruce Wayne.
Right. And like that's actually the better way to do it, because just like the happy-go-lucky guy, like that works. Like that, people they're like, that guy seems like a D-bag, but like whatever, right? But a guy making a voice like this, like it's like, all right, well that's Bale, relax, just relax. So yeah, I like that the voice is just like, he's just like, I'm vengeance. Like it's easy, right? And it's easy for him to do. What do you think of the cowl?
Hold on, let me get for the most part, I dig the suit as a whole. I actually kind of like is it armored? It looks like
it looks armored to me. Yeah.
It looks like it's slightly armored, which would make sense, right? Like
very similar to the first Arkham Knight game.
This guy is he's a dude, and this is another Batman that's taking place in the real world, right? Like in the real live world.
As far as we know, we don't know.
Right. So it would make sense that if this guy is going to do this, then he's going to have to kind of armor up, right?
Right.
People tend to shoot you in the head, so your head should be armored. Yeah, I'm digging it. I think it does look better in motion when you see him wearing it than it does in just still shots.
Yeah. Now, here's the thing. Like, there was the big talk of how he was going to be presented since he's not a huge guy. Like, I don't think it's a size issue at all. Like, he still looks pretty fucking intimidating.
Yeah, I mean, he's Robert Pattinson himself is a relatively tall man, right?
Right.
So,
6 something.
And quite frankly, it is he's standing over people in this scene. And quite frankly, it's a little scary when you see someone who is built like a regular human being, but just like kicking your ass, right? Like that's like saying, oh, well,
right.
There are some UFC fighters who aren't 7 feet tall.
Right.
Like they're not intimidating. Like get the fuck out of here, yo. Like they'll beat the brakes off of you and break your legs for good measure.
Right. Twist your leg and put it in your pocket.
So that doesn't make sense to me, right?
Right.
And guess what? Everybody in Hollywood is short, right?
Yeah, that's the great lie, right? Is I have the body of a leading man, right? I am the average leading man in Hollywood.
I mean, Tom Cruise played Jack Reacher.
Yeah, that's insane.
Like, come on, yo.
I guess he's 6'5". Tom Cruise is like 5'6". Like he was just like, it's reverse the numbers. It's basically the same. So yeah, I like that. That was in watching the trailer. Until I was just thinking to ask you the question, I didn't even think about like his physical size at all when I was watching the trailer. Like it didn't jump out at me at all.
You know why I didn't? Because you saw him grab a guy by his hand and just beat the crap out of him with one arm.
Yeah, or as I saw, it was like triangle, 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 circle, triangle, which I was like, that's about right. What did you think of seeing Catwoman in an actual, like being an actual cat burglar, which is a first?
I forgot that Zoe Kravitz was in it.
Yeah.
I was like, who is that? And then I remembered. And yeah, like she's actually like stealing stuff. And her costume is, I mean, I wish the balaclava, I think the balaclava would have been better covering her whole face.
Yeah.
If you're going to be in this hyper realistic world, but like, I'm not mad at it. Like actors got to emote. It's hard to emote through a mask.
Right.
But yeah, a Catwoman being a cat burglar.
What a concept. I think that is the budding of her costume. I don't think that's going to be the final look.
Yeah, no, of course not. Of course not.
I have a very strong feeling that after meeting Batman, she's gonna be like, huh, Batman, it's kind of a cool name. That'd be Catwoman. That seems awesome. And then she's gonna be like, all right, cool. And then she'll go the whole 9 yards. Look, I just want to see a Catwoman who has got not the goggles that flip up to look like ears or some other stupid aesthetic, just the actual like helmet with the fucking goggles. Like that's the Catwoman I want to see. It's a cool look. Like just fucking do it. Stop being a bunch of cowards. So this is not bad for the first iteration of that. And like them showing them sort of like going at it a little bit and Batman being like, fuck you doing? Like, get out of here. I'm way faster than you. So I dug that. And she's actually like a physical character. Then we get to the part of a bunch of young men dressed like they're extras in The Purge. And then Robert Pattinson's Batman just, as we talked about, just beats the brakes off of this guy, thus proving to fans that this ain't no fucking sparkling vampire movie, which was great.
Who are you supposed to be? Bitch, I'm fucking Batman. Je suis Batman.
Je suis Batman. Yeah, I was not expecting that beatdown, but I liked it. I was here for it.
Yeah, ain't nothing wrong with it. Tell you that right now. Ain't nothing wrong with...
Yo, he fucked that guy up. I don't think this Robert Pattinson guy's gonna be able to fight. Well, how about that?
Right.
Yeah. But that's for the fans, right? Like that was shut the fuck up. That's what that was. And heard loud and clear.
Yeah. Anybody looking at Batman's size, complaining about Batman's eyes, can look at the picture that I just sent to you. Like, he's literally standing over top. He's looking down at this is the part in the police precinct when he's fighting the cops.
You're going to have to send it to my other account. I got banned today.
Oh, what a dick.
It was worth it. Apparently calling someone a fat ass on Facebook is unacceptable. Well, it is what it is. Yeah, I mean, he's a pretty tall guy. The other thing is you get a scene of the Batmobile, which looks awesome. Very realistic, and I totally dig it. A couple small moments of the Penguin again, played by Colin Farrell. Again,
I love
unrecognizable.
I love that the Riddler is the villain, dude.
Yeah,
and they got like a Zodiac killer vibe going.
So that's Paul Dano. Paul Dano was the preacher kid in There Will Be Blood. That guy is an excellent actor, man. He really is. Yeah, the Riddler's overdue. No offense to Jim Carrey, I think Paul Dano will do a better job. But I look forward to sort of this very twisted version of the Riddler. Like that seems cool to me.
I'm looking forward to Batman solving a mystery.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. But, somebody said, well, all he does is, just do extrajudicial, things and, just beats people up and all this other stuff. And I'm like, here's a story about him using his intellect, being the world's greatest detective.
Yeah. I want a Batman mystery. Like, who is this guy? Why is he doing this? And I'm looking forward to it because, like, with riddles and whodunits, like, your writing has to be on point.
Yeah, it does.
You can't you don't want the audience to outsmart you. You don't want the audience to outsmart the hero. Like nothing sucks more in a mystery or a whodunit when you know who did it. And
right.
The only one that's been able to do that is Rian Johnson in Knives Out.
Knives Out, right.
And that movie is written impeccably well.
Right. It takes a different, you're right. It takes a different level of writing to do a mystery, to do it well. Yeah. You're right.
So, I'm looking forward to it.
One thing that was pointed out before we get back to what the fuck and get out of here is this takes place in modern time, not in the 90s, as we had previously seen it reported. Because there's a guy in the "Who the hell are you?" scene. He's holding an iPhone. So maybe, just maybe, things will be coming together in the multiverse. I doubt it, but it could if they wanted to. But I just have a feeling it's just they're gonna stick to their own thing over here, and hopefully this is really good, and we get more of these. So we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Yeah, I look forward to it. But yeah, I hope people who were completely unwilling to give it a chance based on never seeing an actor in anything else and assuming that an actor in one movie is the only thing he can possibly do, actually look at this trailer and give it a chance, because I think it looks quite good. And I'm here for it. So let's circle back. You want to do your what the fuck story?
In a country that eschews confrontation and frowns upon public displays of passion, bold entrepreneurs eager to take up the burden of ending romantic relationships on a client's behalf can make a fortune.
Japan.
Bingo.
Yeah, come on.
How do I pronounce this? Wakara say the breaker uppers is what that term translates to. So like, I don't feel like butchering some other person's people's culture and language. The breaker uppers are professional agents that specialize in destroying relationships.
God damn, destroying them?
Be they marriages or affairs for a fee.
Yo, these prices are a little insane.
After taking on the contract, these unlicensed operatives stop at nothing to achieve their goal, which includes extreme measures like entrapment, financial burdening, and lying. The breaker-uppers are viewed by some in Japanese society as immoral, but they have been around for decades, and their services are more popular than ever. The breaker-uppers services, many of which are tied to private detective agencies, are often advertised online to cater to both married people seeking a reason to leave their spouse and married individuals who know about their partner's infidelity and want to end it without getting involved.
Wait, whoa. So hold on. So, okay, go with the prices. I'm sorry.
Prices reportedly vary from a couple of $100s for simple cases to upwards of $150,000 for high-profile cases.
Yo, you are
discretion
fucking
is of the utmost
crazy.
Importance.
So this is a service for people who are just like, I want to break up with my spouse. Like, it's like hiring the show Cheaters to break up with your spouse. Is that my understanding?
Yes, but they yes and no, right? It goes beyond a step in Cheaters, right? Like, yeah, they hire you like, I know this person is cheating, or I have a feeling this person is cheating. Find out that they're cheating, get proof, and then tell them it's over for me because I don't want to talk to them anymore. Or it's just for people who are like, you know what? This ain't working out. And I'm too much of a of a coward to tell the person because I'm afraid that I might get talked back into staying in this relationship.
Sure.
Can you just go over there and can you be my wingman?
Right.
And go over there for me and just tell this person that I don't want to see them anymore.
Yeah, that's pretty wild, man. That's a wild service. Now, I can understand if it was like a violence thing.
Yeah.
Right? Like you were in an abusive relationship. But if you just like, I just want to break up with you, but I just don't want to actually have to deal with you, that's crazy. I want to know what the ones that are 150 grand. Like, what is that situation?
Once a case is accepted, depending on the target, the agents will approach them somewhere public, like a grocery store, and try to spark up a combination. I think they mean conversation. All they need is a moment of weakness that is usually captured by a hidden camera. But if seduction doesn't work, they have other strategies as well. Targets can be lured into fake business deals, burdened with financial debt, and even visited by fake mob guys about the debt, threatening to start a career-ending scandal. Works wonders too, apparently.
What the
They basically
fuck?
do all it takes to get the job done. Yo,
I'm confused, yo. This is a crazy business.
this is terrorism, yo.
Yes, it is. This is domestic terrorism. I'm going to entrap you in a fake business? Then what? Give me all your money or break up with Danielle. Your choice.
No. I think it's like, I'm going to entrap you in a fake business. You go home to your spouse and say, oh my God, I got into a pyramid scheme and I don't know what to do. You got into a pyramid scheme? All our savings are now into that. You can't handle money. I can't trust you anymore. I want a divorce.
Oh, I see.
That's what I think.
Yo, that's a pretty elaborate thing. Instead of being like, yo, I saw a video of you raw dogging my sister. So I'm going to break up with you.
This is a very elaborate scheme.
Wow.
I wonder how they're going to do it when there's a kaiju attack.
Right, that's basically it. What will they be able to figure out then? That is a crazy story. I kind of want a movie about this.
Yeah, yo.
Like
it's
like a Mr. and Mrs. Smith, but they both hire one of these these breaker upper services. So it's like, I'm entrapping you in a business. Well, I'm embezzling from your business. Like it's just like this constant back and forth. Like that's how you do it.
When a client wants their husband's affair to end, operatives start by targeting the mistress. They sometimes impersonate rich, successful entrepreneurs and simply steal them away from their client's partner.
Wow.
But they have other tactics as well. Sometimes a female agent will befriend the mistress, find out her ideal type of man, and introduce her to a suitable candidate, making her leave the target herself. For an extra fee, some agencies even offer aftercare services to ensure that their clients don't come knocking again. This includes offering counseling on how to make themselves more attractive to their spouse, how to act around them, or more devious work like spreading rumors around the block that the neighbor finds the wife attractive, thus rekindling the husband's interest in her, for male jealousy. Yo,
yeah.
This is amazing.
Yo, this is a hell of a service. Wow. Yeah, look, the Japanese are pretty wild people, but this might be slightly genius.
Okay, well, last paragraph. I'm sorry.
No, this is super fascinating. Go ahead. Keep going.
After seeing a drop in demand a decade ago after a famous case that ended with a murder.
Of course it did. During the KAIJU attack.
Services have once again become very popular, with hundreds of agencies advertising their services online. It might be unusual in some parts of the world, but it's worth remembering that this is Japan, the same company where you can hire someone to confess to your crush on your behalf, hire a fake boyfriend, and even hire someone to quit your job if you're not brave enough to do it. Wow, yo, this is wild, dude.
Amazing. No, simply amazing. Wow. Incredible. Oh boy. My story does not top that. Like that's fucking nuts. Go Japan. My story, which was actually Terrence's story, is my story. The site broke. Fucking internet. Mine is sex crazed giant spiders. Hold on. It's for some reason reloading now. Sex crazed giant house spiders the size of your hand are invading the UK now. So it's the UK. I just read that. Sex hungry spiders are set to invade British homes, and their arrival is imminent. The colossal creepy crawlers on the prowl for sexual partners will be seeking the warm... What happened to the article? Warm and dry spots in your home. The male house spiders can have a leg span of up to 10 centimeters and are in the midst of the mating season, which spans August to September. All that tells me is you should light your own house on fire. If you see it.
Those things look gross, man. God damn.
No.
I can't imagine because my wife has a severe case of arachnophobia. Like,
yes,
it is not like it is paralyzing to her.
That's
the size
wild.
of the spider, and
I wouldn't be pleased about that if I saw it.
Yeah, no, I think she might. She might just stay in our bedroom and never come out until I can provide proof of death.
Show me a picture of it. Show me a picture of its dead family too. Get out of here. That's crazy. This doesn't. I don't think this measures up to entrapment services provided by the Japanese.
Yo, that story is wild, dude.
That's a hell of a ride, man. That's a hell of a ride.
You're right. It really does need to be made into a movie.
Yeah. Mr. and Mrs. whatever that word was, like Wakiki or whatever the fuck it was. I would watch that. I would super watch that, or at least a documentary about it. All right. Any final words before we get out of here?
No.
All right, guys. Let us know what you think of the Mulligan cut. Are you excited? Are you not excited? Are you more excited after the trailer came out, or less? And other things. Make sure you check that out, and we will see you guys next week.
See you.
Bye.
You're watching the Nerdpocalypse YouTube channel. Make sure you click that button to subscribe and check out our weekly podcast where we talk about movie, TV, news, tech, and weird stories from around the internet.